Welcome in to the latest edition of Extra Time. For those of you who are not on Twitter, we've had quite the timeline, quite the story.
I'm not on Twitter, Dan. Tell me what happened.
Well, Craig went on a golf trip.
Did he?
Yes, he did. Now, what do you need to play golf?
Clubs, maybe?
Yes, indeed. Unfortunately, the airline disagreed. Disagreed.
No, you need to play golf. Talent.
So Craig gave us a lovely, basically, timeline. And you could see as this timeline was going on how the anger was also snowballing within it.
He wasn't as usual, calm, accepting.
And now, obviously, a lot of people on Twitter were following this and enjoying it. This is just a few that people have written in. For Craig, how was the golf trip? Seemed to have gone smoothly. Craig, did you find the positivity corner while across the pond?
I did.
This is just another one. Shaka, why did you place a curse on Burley's golf?
Well, the positivity corner was a pub.
Right, good. Yes, lovely.
It's not too much to ask, and it didn't spoil the trip because I was with 24 of my buddies from Nottingham in England.
Nice.
And it's not too much. I'm not going to mention the airline, obviously. We rise above that kind of thing at this company. Give me another minute.
Unfortunately, he didn't take the same sort of strategy on Twitter.
Well, the reason I did that was because I was getting no response from anybody.
You just
so
get
then you have to take to the old strop, which, as you know, I'm pretty good at having strop. So, but it's not too much to ask, is it? I mean, I had a 3-hour layover in Toronto because I went the scenic route. Decided to go the scenic route. I've never been to Canada, so I thought I'll spend 3 hours in a Canadian eatery, pub,
Right.
and I spent 3 hours in Canada. They can get the clubs. That's 3 hours. It's long enough to get the clubs on the flight to Dublin.
Yes.
And somebody went, baggage handlers, whoever, going, well, there's a set of clubs with Dublin on here. I think we'll just leave it. So they left.
No, they checked the tag, went, oh, it's Burley. These Manchester United fans.
So I got to UK in the end, and my clubs, I was told, were still in Toronto. And as we speak now, which is 9 days after I left, I was told they were on a flight back to Hartford, Connecticut. So I was like, cool, they'll get delivered to my house. And then I got an email to say, oh no, they're in Washington, DC. That was 2 days ago.
But you were never in DC?
No, DC was never part of my transit, but my clubs are in DC now.
That's where Sebi lives. Maybe he can pick them up.
No, I've seen it. He can't golf. He couldn't pick them up. He's not strong enough.
Sebi decided I'll pick golf up.
So I got, as you know, I got a bunch of clubs from other my buddies, and I never let things like that affect me.
No.
I just soldiered on.
That's
the time of my life. And the airline, if I mentioned the airline, are still getting
Irish.
No, they're still getting a battering. I'm not going to mention names. Irish carrier. Never fly them again.
Okay, let's move.
But on a serious note, no, but I'm being for it because we need to go. It's been a long day.
Right.
On a serious note,
yes.
Airlines, I think, are getting worse for this kind of thing. It's like blasé. People just, it's wrong in this day and age.
I had no problems. I think it's fine.
Yeah, but you only luckily I put my clothes in the hold above.
Oh, there we go.
That's how you put your clothes in the hold above.
I didn't even have a bag. Just stuck them up there.
Now, if they'd have lost my clothes, my bag as well. So in my golf bag there was my shoe.
Yeah, we're moving on. No, people don't care.
I think they do.
I think that's enough.
Right, go. I think they want to know.
To both, is Southgate tailor-made for Manchester United?
No. Why, oh why, would Gareth Southgate be tailor-made for one of the most difficult club jobs on the planet?
Yep, when he's failed at club level before.
Why?
I think Pochettino's the perfect fit.
He can even start Maguire all the time.
Oh, Pearl.
There we are.
There you go. Happy.
No, you give Gareth Southgate all these England players in the United shirt, and then somebody's got half a chance, but that's not the scenario. So it's just Eric, just not happening.
Shaka, was the US unprepared? Because it was a friendly yesterday, or is Colombia just that much better than right now?
Colombia that much better.
They're 23 games unbeaten, aren't they? So, yeah.
I thought it was weird what Berhalter said. Or we underestimated the opposition or something of the sort. I'm like,
yeah.
How do you underestimate Colombia?
Didn't respect the game. It's like...
I didn't. It's just so much that's just kind of bemusing.
Yeah.
Well, the interesting thing is if I don't know how long ago in the timeline, But the US pushed to get into this competition, didn't they? The Copa America, which I think was a smart move, because they wanted more competitive games rather than, you know, what the heck is the qualifying, the Gold Cup.
Yeah,
is what it is. So you get into the Copa. If you get in the Copa America, you're in with all these South American giants, and they can play. Mm-hmm. Whenever I've played against the South American teams, it's been like one of them. Oh my God, because they're tough, they're technical, they're strong, and they're committed. And so the US are in there now, and now they're in with the big boys, and they're
drowning.
Yeah,
well, they are at the moment, and they're either going to sink or swim with this going up several levels. It's either going to make you better and more prepared, or it's going to flatten you. And if the kind of performances and results happen like it did against Colombia, then it's going to knock the stuffing out of them. So we'll see what happens.
not that I want to be doing a deep dive on the US here.
I'll do that.
I just find it really odd, the US approach, that how they all of a sudden are wanting to become a passing team, even against better opposition. The US have never been about that. And I still don't think they're good enough to do that. So there's just so much about it that just continues to bemuse, and as a result, you're going to get these kinds of pastings.
One thing I don't understand at the moment is this continuous comparison. This is a youngish US team, and they're all playing at most of them at a decent level, and they've got talent. But this is the most talented. Is it? Is it really? I mean, with all respect, you know, Robinson and Reamer at Fulham, Championship, Premier League Championship. Richards at Crystal Palace. Was it Bayern Munich? But he's at Palace. Gio Reyna is a good player, I think, but he's lost his way. He wasn't getting a game for Nottingham Forest. You know, he got the odd game when Forest survived. And Matt Turner was a sub at Arsenal, and then he's been ditched at Nottingham Forest. So, I mean, there's some good players there, but this continues. Oh, this is the most. That's to me disrespect. I played with a lot of guys, against a lot of the guys from that sort of late 1990s, early 2000 era, the ones that almost got to a semi-final of a World Cup. Mm-hmm. Proper players. So this continues. Oh, this US side, it's, you know, it's super talented. It's almost like saying, well, we expect, and then they go last night, or whenever it was last night, and they get a complete punch in the face. That's the problem here in this country. Sometimes with some people, they need a reality check.
I think they're going to get it. Certainly, they got Brazil, of course, on Wednesday. Shaka, at what point have you experienced a dressing room turn on the manager? How did it end? Asking for a certain national team that just got dog-walked.
I'm not sure that there was ever a real turn on the manager. Probably the closest we've come to, or I've witnessed, was at Portsmouth. They got rid of Harry Redknapp and brought in this Croatian guy who, I can't remember his name now, who started off as director of football and all of a sudden became coach, and some of the recruiting was a little bit questionable, and players just kind of like...
It wasn't the guy that was at Chelsea, was it? No,
I honestly can't. He just kind of came out of left field. I can't remember where it was.
Vladimir Dazic?
That's the one.
Who are we talking about here? I might have been stating the obvious who this question's about.
This is about Greg Berhalter. Yeah.
Are the players turned on him?
No.
Oh, yeah.
By the way, we showed it at the show, so maybe people saw it, maybe they didn't. And I get it. We've all been walloped, right? I mean, I agreed with what Shaq said in the show. Berhalter was kind of like, some of his answers were going, it was like the players. He'll have to take some responsibility. But Christian Pulisic's interview, dearie me, I thought the world was going to end. Oh, I thought, you got to pick yourself up, son.
No, but isn't that what you want from fans?
Just got beat 5.
You don't want him picking up and being positive.
No, but I mean, not being
at least
positive.
He's being honest. At least he's not sat there going, well, I saw some positives.
Just lost some
no,
I'm not asking him to show some positive. I'm not asking
to get his pom-poms out.
No, I'm not asking that, but it was like, maybe this is just his personality. I was like, oh...
Well, yeah, just lost.
For God's sake, have a bit of bloody life about yourself.
Well, no, I think that's a bit harsh.
No, I don't.
I think that's harsh.
And that's how they are in this country. Whenever a team loses, because they think they're going to win it, they go, oh, it's the end of the world. It's not. You're not as good as you think you are, right? That's the bottom line.
But I think he kind of said that.
Well, no, but it's just, maybe it's his personality. Come out and go, listen, not good enough. Or maybe he's just not a very good talker. I don't know.
Come out and say they weren't good enough.
No, just come out and say. No, come out and say. Listen, we're going to. It was how he. It was like.
I think that's harsh.
I got the feeling I was right. I thought he was still wearing his kit. He was still wearing his, I'd be down.
No.
I'd also
well,
be
we're
down.
all down, but you got. I mean, come on. The world's not ending because you got beat. Sort yourself out.
Now, last week there was a disagreement when Kylian Mbappe came out and said that the Euros is harder to win than the World Cup. They obviously discussed
Last couple of days.
and they discussed it here, and there was discourse. And so
Would that include with the people that gave Chelsea a B in this season? 'Cause that's like
right.
Not forgot about that, man.
See, don't forget about many things.
Give Chelsea a B, you're out of this.
Right, for Craig, your take on the Euros. Is it more difficult to win than the World Cup?
No. I don't think so. I don't really. I mean, there is a suggestion and has been. I mean, the Euros used to be 8 teams.
Yes.
And then it was 16. When I played, and it was 16, and now obviously it's like everything else is getting bigger. There is an argument that the European teams, the core of the elite in Europe, have been the strongest. I don't know.
I don't even know why it's a discussion. Surely, if any tournament that has Argentina and Brazil in, that's it.
Just the mere premise, right? You have the Euros, right? You take the best teams, you lose the worst team out of the Euros, put in the best teams from the rest of the world, and all of a sudden that tournament is easier to win.
Yeah.
It just doesn't make any kind of logical sense.
Well, when we played in '98, you looked at Morocco, and you go to before you go to Asia, you go to Africa, and never mind South America. When you're playing South. I mean, we played Colombia in a friendly before the World Cup or the Euros in '96. We played them in Miami. It was the first time I'd played against a South American side. Oh my God!
Yeah.
They were tough as nails and a great side. And then, you look at all these other top South American sides. Then you look at when the African sides, when the real elite African sides come out, like Ivory Coast, Cameroon, and others, Ghana, and that's before you.
Surely it's different styles of football. You have to adapt your game to.
Exactly. I find.
No, it's got. I mean, I was like
frustrating conversation.
Well, it's with Stevie.
For me, it was the World Cup. So Stevie said the Euros.
Stevie and Frank.
Yeah, what happened? We had a very Eurocentric day on what's today? Sunday. On Friday, Frank, Stevie, Nedum were like, yes, the Euros is a whole lot harder to win. And then me, Ali, and Seb and Jules Laurent were on yesterday, and it went in totally different direction.
Well, that's the beauty of this game, isn't it?
Well,
everyone has
a game of two halves. I don't know what that has to do with that.
That's the trouble, though, when FIFA and UEFA start to dilute their competition with more games.
I agree with that.
It's weaker, can be weaker opposition, and the more you dilute it, the more the perception is. A lot of it is easier. A bit like the Champions League. We and I know there's a new format this year, but we kind of know, or we have known, as a general rule of thumb, a lot of what the last 8 is going to look like. And the more that they dilute these big tournaments with more teams, and some people want it. Some people want more teams because they're in for, let's include everybody. Let's have 100 teams, keep everybody happy, give them a medal. It doesn't do the product any good, and maybe that's why one or two think that the World Cup is easier. I wouldn't say so.
Shaka, start, bench, sell these backup goalkeepers.
Okay.
Ramsdale, Ortega, Kelleher.
Ortega, Kelleher, Ramsdale.
Oh, didn't even have to think, Shaq.
So hold on.
Ramsdale's the worst out of those 3.
He has been this season, yes.
He hasn't really had a chance, has he?
Hold on. Ramsdale. That's how they played.
Yeah, but
I know the other two.
Right.
So hold on. If you were starting a team tomorrow, who's your number 1?
Ortega.
Yeah, well, yeah. The one that made the guff in the final.
Yeah.
So who's your backup?
Kelleher.
Oh, come. You've sat. Hold on. You need to go and give your head a wobble. You've sat in this show early in the season and made an argument why Aaron Ramsdale was Arsenal's number 1. Should have been Arsenal's number 1. Now he's not even your number 3. Well, he's now your number 3 and your backup.
He's not had a good season. If I'm picking a team now,
right?
He's number 3.
Right. But you made an argument at the start of the season. He should have been Arsenal's number 1.
Yeah, at the start of the season. No, we're at the end of the season.
Well, he never played.
There's a whole season in there.
Yeah, and he didn't play. David Raya played.
Okay, but if he had started the season and done well, or if he had featured more this season and done well, then I have a different conversation. But the couple of times that he's played, he's not played particularly well. So if we're talking about right now, in June 2024, if I'm picking a team right now in June 2024, he's third.
You also said, because I've got a memory like an elephant, you said he's not played well in these games, it's because Mikel Arteta's put him under pressure by dropping him.
I don't understand what it has to do with right now he's behind the other two.
You've got two backup goalkeepers who've always been backups ahead of a guy who was Arsenal's number one.
Because
and you said he should be Arsenal's number one.
Everything you've seen from those two goalkeepers this season has been better than what you've seen from Aaron Ramsdale.
So because of that, he's a worse goalkeeper than them? Or
you asked me a question, June 9th. I'm picking my team June 9th.
Right, you argued that
if you want me to pick a team from August 2023, that's a different conversation.
You argued during this season, A, Ramsdale should have been number one, and B, his poor performances came about because Arteta threw him under the bus.
Yes.
The other two were not thrown under the bus.
Okay.
Right. So how can he be number three?
Because...
This is why you should never have a conversation with goalkeepers.
Wow.
Right, what have I told you?
I wasn't expecting that. Dan,
the core
please,
of problems in the world are goalkeepers.
Dan, please tell me in football terms how big the US beating Pakistan is in the Cricket World Cup. That was unbelievable.
Was it?
I don't know.
Talk me through it. I must have missed it.
Well, US is a bunch of amateurs, like the part-timers.
West Indies got beat by an African nation. This had to be about 10 years ago, you know. I'm trying to think of who it was now. Kenya or
in
something
football
like that.
terms, Shaq, like you think,
I'm just
who did
thinking.
Sutton United beat back in the day?
Coventry.
Coventry, that was a...
Oh, you know.
That was a massive deal.
Who beat Bayern in the cup?
Yeah, but they're still full-time footballers, aren't they? These aren't full-time cricketers.
Are they?
Cricketers is...
Fourth division of Germany is full-time?
This game of cricket was in
the World Cup.
Cricket World Cup.
Yes. Yes.
Who's broadcasting the Cricket World Cup?
Willow, here.
It's not ESPN, is it?
No, it's Willow here.
All right, I'm free.
We have it in the Caribbean, though. We have ESPN Caribbean now.
Okay, I don't live in the Caribbean.
Right, is this where you
No,
just say you don't
I just want to know. So it's a Cricket World Cup at the
Yes,
moment?
yes.
And part of it, is all of it in the US?
No, most of it's in the West Indies, and they're like the game that I went to was in New York.
It's a bit like we're going to have a Premier League or La Liga game in America.
No, it's like having the World Cup when it was in Austria and Germany. Right. Most of it's in Germany.
So the US, they beat Pakistan?
Yes.
Wow.
Yeah.
And you went to this?
No, I went to Sri Lanka against South Africa.
How are England doing?
England are doing poorly. They lost. Yeah, they lost to Australia yesterday. West Indies are doing well.
Is it the 2020 World Cup?
Yes. Yeah, West Indies are doing well.
Some complaints about the pitches.
Was there many people down there watching that?
About 10,000. No, it was a sellout. Yesterday was obviously... No, today, sorry, was a sellout for India-Pakistan.
Well, you learn something every day. There is a cricket pitch in New York.
Yeah.
Yes.
Brand new.
Yeah, the stadium, they've done a really good job.
Big stadium down in Florida as well.
Yep, there we go. Fascinating.
Did we answer the question?
Not really, because it's difficult to compare, isn't it? I said Sutton United, like football term. You could say Saudi Arabia, but Saudi Arabia beating Argentina in the World Cup.
Yeah.
That's when you changed your mind, wasn't it, Shannon? That's when you said...
I don't remember that at all. I don't remember that at all.
Here we go. Who's the current best goalkeeper in Euro 2024?
Ramsdale.
Ramsdale.
I'm not having that conversation.
Right, no Courtois, obviously.
I'd go Manuel Neuer.
Manuel Neuer?
Yeah.
Yeah? Just easy to say.
Oh, well, I think the best three in tournament, Neuer, Oblak, and Maignan.
Donnarumma? No.
I probably have him fourth.
Yeah, he wasn't.
I feel he's fallen off since the last Euros. But if I had to pick a team right now, June 2024.
Yes. What about August 2023?
It's a different conversation altogether.
The trouble with people on this show, they forget what they've said.
Dan, how was Vegas? Did you spend more time at the tables, the buffet, the sportsbook, or the pool? You could not spend it at the pool. It was 109 degrees. It was so hot.
I've only been there for a couple of days. That was enough for me.
It was really hot.
The pools were chock-a-block.
We didn't even look at a pool.
People playing the music and all that.
What
I've never been to Vegas in the summer. I've heard about it.
It was like...
You're running the tables and was it all that? Or
Yes.
did you do the sort of more sophisticated thing? Did you go and see any shows?
Yeah. Right. We went to 3 different shows. Went to a comedy show and then 2 magicians. The magicians were amazing. It was brilliant. It was so much fun. It was very cool.